Hey guys, it's Miss Truitt, and welcome to another edition of Fraction Friday. Today we're going to talk about fractions, specifically halves, using billiards balls. Let's get started. So as we get started, let's talk about what is half. Well, half is having two equal parts or two equal groups. So one of the most confusing things I've found for students is that a lot of times they don't understand the fractions that are equivalent to half. So what half means is that you are dividing into two groups or two equal parts. So remember in that first episode we talked about fractions are division. Well, today we're going to find out why. So let's get to it. For our first example, I have two balls. One of the balls is a solid and one is a stripe. Well, we talked about half. I want to figure out what half of 2 is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make two equal groups. Once I do that, I can see that 1 out of 2 balls is solid. So I know half of 2 is 1. So this is 1/2 because it's 1 out of 2. For our next example, we have 4 balls. I have 2 solid balls and 2 striped balls. Well, what I want to do with these 4 balls is split them in half. That means I need to make 2 equal groups because I'm dividing by the number 2. One here. There's a group. So I'm going to make a group of solids and a group of stripes. And I can see that 1 out of the 2 groups is solid. One group is solid. Well, how many balls are in that group? There's 2 in that group out of 4 total. So 2/4 of the balls are solid. Well, that's equal to 1/2 because 1 out of 2 groups is solid. We now have 6 balls, and I want to find out what is half of 6. So again, when we find half, we divide by 2, so I want to make 2 equal groups. And we're just going to share them equally until they are all in a group. And I can see here that half of 6 is 3. There are 3 solid balls, there are 3 striped balls. So 1/2 of the balls is solid and the other half is stripes. Now, how many balls are solid? There are 3 out of 6. So 3/6 is equal to half because there are 3 balls in one of the 2 groups. So now we have 8 balls and we're going to do the same thing. I want to find out what half of that is. So we're going to make 2 equal groups again. Okay, now I can see that half of the balls are solid and half of the balls are striped. Well, when I look at the number 8, I can see that 4, when I divide it into 2, I have 2 equal groups of 4. So 4 out of 8 balls are solid. So 4/8 is equal to 1/2. So next we have 10 balls and we're going to do the same process. I want to find out what half of 10 is. So I'm going to divide into 2 groups, 2 equal groups. And we're just going to do it real quick now that we know the process. Okay, so I can see that I have 10 balls in all. Okay, half, I divide, So here I have 10 balls and we're going to do the same process. I want to find half of 10, so that's dividing into 2 equal groups. Well, now it's pretty easy to see that all our solids are going to go together and all our stripes are going to go together. Okay, so when I look at half of the balls are solids and half of the balls are stripes. Now, what is half of 10? I can see here that I have 2 groups of 5. In one of those groups, I have 5 out of 10 balls. So 5/10 is equal to 1/2. The main thing I want you guys to take away from today's lesson is that if the numerator is half of the denominator, so if you have 2/4, 3/6, 4/8, 5/10, 6/12, 7/14, okay, if the numerator is half of the denominator, that fraction is equivalent to 1/2. And once you learn that, it makes benchmark fractions a whole lot easier. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Have a great day.